I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the housing market is actively right now turning a corner and going back deeper into a seller's market. And I know that's probably not a very popular opinion amongst the negative Nancy's and the Mr. Know-it-alls who've been telling you that the market's going to crash. But unlike them, I actually look at the data and analyze it before I share my opinion with you. So I'm going to go ahead and explain that in more detail in just a second, so stick around. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Brian Simmons here with eXp Realty in Southern Oregon. It's August 10th, and I have got a really good video for you today. If you could do me a quick favor, I'd really appreciate it. Just click that like button, hit the subscribe icon, and share this video with anybody you know who is looking to buy or sell real estate here in Southern Oregon. And if you're curious what your home's worth or you're looking to do some house hunting, just go down to the description of this video and there's a ton of links that I've provided for you to help you out with that process. So check it out. Now let's run through the data for Jackson, Josephine counties of Southern Oregon and see what we had going on for the last week. 1,287 active single-family residential listings on the market this morning for single-family residential homes, which is down from 1,308 last week, which I'm going to say was the peak. I know we kind of went up a little bit during that week and came back down, but I'm going to say we're on the downslope. 116 new listings, 173 price changes over the last 7 days, 37 back on the market, 130 went pending, which is up from 105, 94 closed, 46 expired, withdrawn, or canceled, and that all brings us to 13.7 weeks worth of inventory if we were to look at just a snapshot of that 1 week. And a number that I'm super happy to see is that we saw over 10% of the available inventory go pending for the first time in 6 weeks. That's a big deal. Now, let me tell you what data I'm seeing that's making me believe that we're heading back into a seller's market. Maybe not as deep as we were last year or as severe as we were last year, where we had just 2 to 3 weeks worth of inventory. But that's certainly possible. It could get to that point again. I'm not sure. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. But here's what I'm seeing. First thing is that inventory is down week to week for the first time since February. Okay, that's a long time. And I believe that inventory has actually peaked for the year. It's early. Last year it didn't peak till October. But looking at the trends, it makes me think that there's a pretty good chance that the inventory level has peaked. New listings have been on the decline for the last 4 consecutive weeks. That's important to know. And conversely, pending sales are up. So when you look at supply being down and trending down and demand being up and trending up, what happens? Competition, multiple offers, and a seller's market. So that's where I think we're heading based on that data right there. Second reason is that mortgage interest rates, I believe, also have peaked. And that's based on conversations with lenders, but also looking at the data. Okay, and there's a lot of data out there that suggests that inflation is slowing. And I'll get to inflation in more detail in a second, but it's important to note that inflation and mortgage rates are actually pretty strongly connected. And the reason is because the Fed's policies that are put in place to counteract inflation. And so when the Fed says that, inflation is too high and they need to make moves to slow it down, they do things that make interest rates go up. So they increase their rate and then mortgage rates go up. So that's why we got in this mess in the first place, where interest rates for mortgages went up above 6%. If inflation is getting under control, then the Fed can be less aggressive, and that should result in mortgage rates coming down. So Lawrence Young, chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, made a note this morning that said the Treasury yield's at 2.7%. And that historically that should translate to mortgage rates of under 5%. There's typically lag, but we should be on track to see rates under 5% here soon. So if that's the case, then we definitely have peaked because we were above 6% back in June. So I would say mortgage rates, in my opinion, have peaked. Number 3, back to the inflation topic, it appears that inflation is slowing down. It went up in July, but not as fast as it went up in June. Okay, so it's slowing down in the amount that it's going up, if that makes sense. It's a good thing. That's a good sign. It's starting to trend back down. Okay, and so hopefully we'll see more of that. And I think most people will notice fuel prices have come down a little bit. Okay, so that's actually reversed. So we're starting to see some signs of that stuff happening. And that's a good thing to celebrate, finally, right? So I know the people like myself who drive A bigger diesel truck are very, very excited about that because $7 a gallon to fill up a 36-gallon tank is a lot of cash. So anyways, definitely starting to see some movement there on the inflation side of things. And when you look at all three of those together, you start to get a pretty good picture of why things could be heading back towards a seller's market. So if we were to just run that all back and do a quick summary of it, here's how it works. When inflation is slowing and getting under control, then the Fed can be less aggressive. When the Fed can be less aggressive, then mortgage rates tend to fall. When mortgage rates tend to fall, then home buying activity tends to increase. And when home buying activity tends to increase, then the supply gets bought up and we end up with a shortage. And when we end up with a shortage, then we have major competition for homes. We get bidding wars and the prices get bid up, and away go the home values, way, way up and up and up, which is good for sellers, good for homeowners. That improves your equity position. That's all good stuff. So if I were a betting man, this is what I would bet on happening. I would bet that we are going to be heading right back to a seller's market and the home values are going to be going up a lot faster than they are right now, which is crazy to think about. I don't know if it'll be as wild as it was last year, but it might. If you're not a homeowner, you should be. I really do expect to see some pretty sizable gains in home values over the next coming years. That's just my opinion. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I think it will happen. And if I were betting, that's where I'd be putting my money. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, I hope that this helps you make the right decision. If you're looking to do some house hunting or you want to know the value of your home, definitely check out the description of this video for some super helpful links that can help you with both of those areas. Please do not forget to hit the like button down there, click on the subscribe icon, and share this video with anybody that you know who is looking to buy or sell real estate in Southern Oregon. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Have a good one.